a dramatic moment a plane's body gear snapped from the fuselage during an emergency landing at airport to lesser-known accidents at Tenerife Airport. Plane crashes have occurred across the globe, leaving a trail of devastation and heartbreak. Watch till the end and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Let's get it on. Tenerife Airport is located in the municipality of San Cristobal de la Laguna, in the northeastern part of the island of Tenerife, Spain. Tenerife Airport serves as an important transportation hub, connecting Tenerife with various domestic and international destinations. The Tenerife Airport disaster is widely regarded as the deadliest aviation accident in history. It occurred on March 27, 1977, at Los Rodeos Airport, now known as Tenerife North Airport, in the Canary Islands, Spain. The disaster was a result of a series of unfortunate events and miscommunications. The accident involved two Boeing 747 aircraft. One was operated by KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, and the other was operated by Pan Am. The disaster unfolded when both aircraft were diverted to Los Rodeos Airport due to a bomb threat at their intended destination, Gran Canaria Airport. The large aircraft congested the limited ramp space at Los Rodeos, resulting in some planes having to park on the taxiway. Amidst the chaotic situation, an air traffic controller mistakenly instructed the KLM aircraft to take off while the Pan Am aircraft was still on the runway, intending to exit via a taxiway. This miscommunication led to a critical situation. The KLM aircraft, attempting to take off, collided with the Pan Am aircraft that was still on the runway. The impact caused the KLM aircraft to break apart and burst into flames, while the Pan Am aircraft suffered significant damage, including a rupture in its fuel tank. We aim to gain a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding air travel and the continuous efforts to make flying safer for passengers and crew alike. Now, let's see more interesting moments of worst plane and helicopter landing fails. Oh my God! No! Footage of the TransAsia Airways crash in Taipei appears to show the plane hitting the bridge moments before plunging into a river. This is the dramatic moment showing the plane touching down on the tarmac, with the heavy landing causing one of its wheel bogies to detach and bounce into the air. Landing in the sandy desert was probably not the best option because the plane ended up falling apart. It landed with only one wheel left, and this plane couldn't reach the finish line. Like being entangled in a spider's web, the plane whirled and failed miserably.
Wait for that's not looking good.
Oh! You got it.
This plane made a circle before it hit the ground and caught fire. The Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747, which was forced to make an emergency landing after suffering landing gear problems. Emirates plane engulfed in flames after crash landing at Dubai Airport. This pilot landed in the snow and did a few donuts around. Two pilots in New Zealand have attempted a dramatic takeoff from a beach after their single-engine plane crash-landed there. So amazing. Air France Flight 447 accident. The Air France Flight 447 accident remains a notable event in aviation history. Air France Flight 447 was an international flight from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil to Paris, France. The aircraft involved was an Airbus A320-203. The aircraft encountered severe weather conditions over the Atlantic Ocean, particularly in the region known as the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Around 4 hours into the flight, while cruising at an altitude of approximately 35,000 feet, the plane entered a high-altitude thunderstorm. The pilots struggled to manage the situation. They received conflicting airspeed indications and were unable to assess the aircraft's true speed accurately. The pilots were unable to regain control of the aircraft, leading to a high-altitude stall and subsequent rapid descent. Finally, Air France Flight 447 crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, approximately 680 miles northeast of Brazil's Fernando de Noronha archipelago. The impact occurred with significant force, resulting in the destruction of the aircraft and the loss of all 228 passengers and crew members on board. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and comment what do you think for this plane crash disaster. Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 was a scheduled international flight from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to Nairobi, Kenya. The aircraft involved was a Boeing 737 MAX 8. The flight took off from Addis Ababa Bole International Airport in clear weather conditions. Shortly after departure, the pilots reported technical difficulties and requested permission to return to the airport. The aircraft experienced erratic vertical speed, fluctuating altitude, and difficulties in controlling the airplane. Within minutes of takeoff, the aircraft's nose began to pitch up and down, indicating a possible issue with the aircraft's automated flight control system. It crashed near the town of Bishoftu, Ethiopia, just 6 minutes after takeoff. The impact was significant, resulting in the destruction of the aircraft and a tragic end. Oxfordshire is a county located in the southeast region of England, United Kingdom. It's known for its rich history, stunning landscapes, and prestigious educational institutions. The county's centrepiece is the city of Oxford. The city has a history dating back over 1,000 years. 3 cooling towers at Didcot Power Station in Oxfordshire, Britain, were demolished in an explosion Sunday, August 18, 2019, with thousands of homes left with no electricity shortly after. The explosion shot out burning sparks, which caught a nearby electricity pole on fire and also appeared to have damaged a car. 40,000 customers who had faced outages following the demolition. In a shocking turn of events, a ceiling collapse sent debris cascading down into an escalator in China, causing panic and chaos among those present. The incident, which occurred with sudden and unexpected force, unleashed a scene of confusion and concern. Moorabbin is a suburb located in the southeastern part of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Situated approximately 15 kilometres southeast of Melbourne's central business district. April this year, a factory inferno has ripped through a caravan warehouse in Moorabbin, leaving destruction in its wake. The blaze, which erupted with fierce intensity, tore through the factory, sending towering plumes of smoke billowing into the sky. The incident has not only caused extensive damage to the warehouse, but has also raised concerns regarding the release of toxic fumes, prompting a dire warning for the southeastern suburbs. The sheer ferocity of the fire consumed the structure, leaving behind a scene of charred wreckage and smouldering debris. Thick, acrid smoke engulfed all over the neighborhood. The combination of burning caravans and various materials present in the warehouse unleashed a toxic plume, sending hazardous particles into the air. The permeating odor of burnt chemicals hung heavily, prompting authorities to issue a warning to residents about potential health risks. The plane landing incident in December 1991 involving a McDonnell Douglas MD-81 flying from Copenhagen to Warsaw via Stockholm was nothing short of extraordinary. The flight encountered a nightmare scenario when both engines suddenly failed just a minute and a half after takeoff. With little time to react, the captain attempted to turn back to the airport, but the plane was too low in altitude for such a maneuver. Fortunately, another pilot from the same company was on board the flight as a passenger. He joined the flight crew and assisted in managing the aircraft's equipment. With the plane flying at an extremely low altitude of about 350 meters, a collision with the ground seemed imminent. However, the combined efforts of the pilots allowed them to successfully extend the flaps, which helped slow down the aircraft's speed during the impending landing.
VJPAT. Low speed pass at 160 knots.
The landing was incredibly challenging and epic, as they had to make it in a forest at a speed of nearly 200 kilometers per hour. The plane impacted several trees, tearing off one of its wings. The aircraft sharply veered to the right but managed to avoid a complete spin. Despite the tremendous forces, the plane ended up collapsing on its side, skidding 110 meters along the ground, resulting in the fuselage breaking into 3 parts. Fuel began to leak from the tanks, creating an even more perilous situation. Miraculously, despite the severity of the landing and the plane's destruction, all 129 people on board survived the ordeal. There were no sparks, explosions, or fires following the crash. The fact that everyone survived such an incredibly hard landing, the severed wing, and the disintegration of the fuselage is truly astonishing. Navigating the treacherous terrain of landing constitutes the pinnacle of challenge and risk during a passenger flight. The airline pilots who braved this critical phase demonstrate their prowess despite the heart-pounding scenario of the aircraft seemingly unraveling at dusk. On a fateful Saturday, the 20th of February in the year 2021, an extraordinary incident unfolded with a Boeing 777 airliner, embarking on its journey from the vibrant city of Denver, Colorado, to the idyllic Hawaiian city of Honolulu. Only moments after the departure, an unforeseen and hair-raising event took place. The jet engine, the very powerhouse of the aircraft, started to disintegrate mid-flight, casting off fragments at a considerable altitude. The aircraft found itself soaring over the picturesque city of Brookfield. The pilots swiftly sought permission to reverse their course, attempting to shepherd the stricken aircraft back to Denver's familiar embrace. A fragment of the engine casing chose this moment to bid its farewell, descending precipitously near the residence of a local resident. The sky was adorned with a cascade of smaller debris, sprinkling the nearby sports grounds like an otherworldly confetti. The spectacle of a burning engine as the colossal airliner prepared for an emergency landing is so terrible. Against all odds, his skills prevailed, and the giant bird of steel kissed the runway with a triumphant roar. So great. The stage was the summer of 2014. A fighter jet approaches its target, not the familiar expanse of a runway, but the confined deck of an aircraft carrier. Oh my God. The runway is but a sliver, a needle's eye through which pilots must thread their aircraft. And on this fateful day, an IWI-8 Bihari fighter, an embodiment of power and precision, encountered a perilous twist of fate. The front landing gear, a sentinel of security, stood defunct, a truth that unraveled mid-flight. The challenge was stark. The fighter, devoid of its front landing gear, demanded an intricate balance. The aircraft's vertical takeoff and landing system, while a feat of engineering, could not guarantee a stable descent without its nose gear. The pilot orchestrated a landing that seemed improbable at best. Finally, the nasal propellers, once roaring with power, ceased their tumult. They stilled, their blades suspended in a graceful pose, mere millimeters from the unforgiving deck. This was not merely a landing, it was a masterpiece, testament to the boundless courage of aviators who dare to push the limits of possibility.
Вот и все.
Ya. Ay, hijo de puta.
Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe and comment. What do you think of these plane landings? Oh my God! Those who witness these unique landings call to the airport's top smoke producer. Do you think so? Head landing is how these planes show you when it's off balance and can't actively stop. So poor.
Hola, merde.
Unable to land as usual, the plane bounced up and down 2 beats before being motionless on the ground. Ethiopian Airlines beat the right wing, then beat the left wing to the ground to make the dust fly. Enough of this combo, the plane will continue its journey. Not only can it land on the runway, this plane also wants to show you how exciting it is to land on the sea. The Boeing 747 was introduced in the late 1960s and was the first wide-body commercial aircraft ever produced. It made its first flight on February 9, 1969, and entered commercial service with Pan American World Airways in January 1970. The introduction of the Boeing 747 revolutionized the aviation industry by significantly increasing the number of passengers that could be transported on a single flight. It played a crucial role in making long-haul air travel more affordable and accessible to the masses. Apart from being a popular passenger aircraft, the Boeing 747 has also been used in cargo transport. The 747 freighter series, such as the 747-400F and 747-8F, are specifically designed to carry freight and have large cargo doors to facilitate easy loading and unloading. The Boeing 747, known for its storied history and reliability, has experienced a few notable landing incidents over the years. On a fateful day at Gatwick Airport, a Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747 approached the runway for landing, facing an unexpected challenge that would put the pilot's skills in the aircraft safety systems to the test. As the aircraft descended, it became evident that the wing undercarriage was stuck in the upright position due to a hydraulic fault, presenting a serious obstacle to a smooth landing. Finally, by expert precision and quick thinking, pilots make the aircraft touch down smoothly, demonstrating the proficiency of the flight crew under immense pressure. China Airlines Flight 006 on February 19, 1985. A China Airlines Boeing 747-200 experienced an engine flame-out at high altitude due to a malfunction. The pilots managed to restart the engines and make an emergency landing in San Francisco. There were no fatalities, but the aircraft sustained significant damage. September 8, 2015. A British Airways Boeing 747-400 suffered an uncontained engine failure and subsequent fire during takeoff from Las Vegas McCarran International Airport. The aircraft aborted the takeoff and all occupants evacuated safely. So lucky. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe and comment what do you think of these landing catastrophes. One such incident occurred on October 31st, 2000. A Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400 collided with construction equipment on a closed runway during takeoff from Taipei's Chiang Kai-shek International Airport. The aircraft managed to take off and divert to another airport. There were no fatalities, but the aircraft sustained substantial damage. A Lufthansa Boeing 747-430 performs an emergency landing at Gander International Airport due to the smell of smoke in the aircraft. The airplane was en route to Orlando International Airport from Frankfurt International Airport. In Eindhoven, Netherlands, this Fairchild C123 nearly suffers a wingtip strike after landing in strong crosswind conditions. A viral video of A380 crosswind landing goes wrong. This British Airways A380 misses the runway during a landing attempt in strong crosswind. This B-52 Stratofortress destroys multiple runway edge lights while demonstrating its ability to taxi sideways. This incident occurred during a display at the 2023 Royal International Air Tattoo Air Show. Another Boeing 757-200 freighter almost suffers a tail strike during unusually fast takeoff rotation. And this Delta Boeing 757-300 is forced to go around after the right main landing gear fails to extend.
That can't be. Yeah, that's not supposed to be the case. I think they're supposed to floating. Oh, I think he popped the tire. Oh, something's wrong. Yeah.
The plane landed and plowed the runway, sending debris flying. Landed too quickly, and engine failure caused the plane to burst into flames on its runway.
Touchdown now.
Oh dear.
Looks like this plane is trying to make an emergency landing during a tornado. It wobbled endlessly and then lost control when it touched the ground.
What the f?
The spectacular landing made this plane completely disappear on the right wing.
Yeah. He's just flying. Yeah. He's in the...
The crosswind is from the left, rolling down the mountain. You can see the foliage near the beginning of the tape continuously being pushed to the right. A difficult landing in Madeira Airport. Crestline is a charming mountain community located in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California, United States. It's situated in the midst of the beautiful San Bernardino National Forest, which provides a picturesque backdrop of towering pine and cedar trees. Nestled at an elevation of approximately 4,700 feet, it offers a scenic retreat from the hustle and bustle of city life. The entire roof of a Crestline, California grocery store collapsed under the weight of snow. Fortunately, no one was inside the store when the roof caved in at dawn on March 1st, 2023. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and comment. What do you think of these catastrophic fails? In a tragic turn of events, a massive fire ravaged a building in New Jersey, leading to its catastrophic collapse in 2020. Thick plumes of black smoke billowed high into the air, blotting out the sun and creating an atmosphere of chaos and distress. The fire's ferocity proved overwhelming, rendering firefighters and emergency responders at the scene with an immense challenge. The once standing structure now lay in ruins, reduced to a pile of debris and rubble. Dramatic video captured the moment of a series of ice structures collapsing, creating a huge wave. First, the towering columns of ice swayed precariously before succumbing to the forces of gravity. They crashed down, shattering into countless shards upon impact, sending a shower of ice particles into the air. The ground trembled violently as the collapsing structures triggered a chain reaction, causing nearby ice formations to crumble as well.
Oh my god! We're lucky to be alive right now!
Heavy rains collapsed a bridge in Kangra in India's northern state of Himachal Pradesh on August 20th, 2022. The collapse of the bridge sent shockwaves through the region, leaving a community in disarray. The severed connection disrupted vital transportation routes, isolating communities. In the early autumn of 2010, a plane traveling from the Siberian city of Yakutia to Moscow encountered severe difficulties. The Tu-154 airliner faced a sudden and complete loss of all power supply 3.5 hours after takeoff. As the aircraft soared at a considerable altitude, both navigation instruments and fuel supply devices shut down unexpectedly. The instruments had managed to pump fuel into the engine earlier, but the reserve would only last for another 30 minutes of flight. Beneath them stretched a vast taiga, where for thousands of kilometers only wilderness existed. Undeterred, the pilots descended to 3 kilometers in search of a suitable landing spot. Miraculously, they located the airport in the village of Izhma. However, the runway there was only half the length required for a Tu-154B, and the airport itself appeared abandoned, serving as a landing and takeoff site solely for helicopters. Nevertheless, the pilot skillfully managed to land the plane without navigational instruments, though the aircraft slightly overshot the runway and collided with some trees. Fortunately, the low height of the trees minimized the damage to the aircraft, ensuring the survival of all passengers. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and comment what do you think of these most terrifying plane landings. In August 2015, an unusual incident occurred aboard a USA Airlines flight when a fashion model named Dashenka Harold smuggled her pet cat into the cabin by concealing it in her bag after takeoff. The crew only discovered the animal during the flight's ascent. Despite the crew's attempt to resolve the situation by placing the cat in a secure location, Ms. Harold caused a commotion on the plane, demanding the return of her pet. Unbelievable. She even claimed connections to the mafia and threatened the destruction of the airline. Taking such threats seriously, the authorities launched 2 fighter jets from the nearest military base to intercept and escort the passenger plane to Denver. The airliner executed an extreme but successful soft landing. Subsequently, Miss Harold was handed over to the FBI. You know, any threats made on an aircraft should be taken seriously, and consequences are necessary to maintain safety. In 2008, a Lufthansa Airlines plane encountered a perilous situation when it flew into Tropical Cyclone Emma, causing chaos and destruction in its path. The cyclone's immense force uprooted trees, tore off roofs, and flipped over vehicles, making the short flight from Munich to Hamburg far more extreme than many round-the-world journeys. The pilot had to abort the landing and execute a go-around, which involved ascending again to make another landing attempt. Despite the damaged wing, the skilled pilot managed to slow down the plane and bring it back for re-landing. On March 2023, a Florida-bound Southwest flight was forced to turn back to Cuba after a bird strike damaged an engine, causing the cabin to fill with smoke. Like they did everything right in this highly unlikely scenario. Great job to the crew and everyone else on board. Glad everyone was safe. So great. A Boeing 747-400 embarked on its journey from the historic city of Maastricht, destined for the vibrant streets of New York. The skies held secrets yet to be revealed, as shortly after takeoff, a moment of startling drama unfolded. One of the engines ignited into an unexpected display of light and heat. In a surreal twist, a piece of its plating chose this instant to bid farewell, cascading toward the Earth like a forgotten comet. The aircraft navigated this unanticipated challenge with a grace that defied the odds. The pilot orchestrated a balletic descent, gently guiding the aircraft to a city in Belgium, a refuge of safety amid the unexpected turbulence.
It's coming this way.
Oh my God, you guys! Get it out! Get it out!
A mesmerizing scene unfolds as an Airbus A321 aircraft descends toward the runway at Skiathos Airport. The footage captures a breathtaking moment where the aircraft seemingly brushes the boundaries of the extraordinary. Beachgoers scattered along the sandy shores, mere meters away. In a twist of fate that seems plucked from the realm of fiction, a small plane's attempt to find its runway at Shannon Airport in Fredericksburg took an unexpected detour. Instead of gracefully alighting on the designated tarmac, the aircraft found itself touching down in the unassuming expanse of a nearby Wawa convenience store's parking lot. Thank God no one was injured. Cargolux Boeing 747 loses part of landing gear during emergency landing. These incidents are isolated examples in the vast history of the Boeing 747, which has safely transported millions of passengers worldwide. These landings have served as important lessons for the aviation industry, leading to improvements in safety procedures and pilot training. These incidents have varied in nature, from minor mishaps to catastrophic crashes. One crucial lesson that emerged from these events is the significance of continuous training for pilots to handle challenging weather conditions, technical malfunctions, and unexpected emergencies during landings. Additionally, the 747 incidents have underscored the importance of thorough aircraft maintenance and inspections to detect and rectify potential issues before they become critical. Furthermore, collaboration between airlines, aviation authorities, and manufacturers has been enhanced to analyze the root cause of these incidents, leading to advancements in aircraft design and safety features. These bad 747 landings remind us that aviation safety is an ongoing endeavor, requiring constant vigilance, innovation, and a commitment to learning from past mistakes to ensure the well-being of passengers and crew.
Thank you for staying with us throughout this incredible journey. We'd love to hear which moment resonated with you the most. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. See you in the next video.